Let me guess, you can't stop thinking about it. Your mind constantly is thinking about all the millions of dollars in your bank account, the luxurious vacations, and the thoughts of financial freedom and everything that it brings along with that. The money, the wealth, the fortune, all your desires, and everything that you ever dreamed about since you were a little kid. But is the golden key to unlocking this abundance, to turning these visions into reality, really hidden in the mysterious idea that we call the law of attraction? How do you use the law of attraction to your favor? How do you use it as your muse? How do you use it as a way to take the things that are in here and put them in the physical world? So that's why in today's video, you're going to discover the essential rules of money, the keys to the matrix per se, that you should follow that will transform your financial reality of where you are now. So I want you to stick with me to the end of this video, because at the end of the video, I'm actually going to give you the exact rule and formula that I still apply to this very single day myself. All the time. As someone who owns an 8-figure business and has advised Fortune 500 companies and have been featured in Forbes and TechCrunch and all of these innovative healthcare magazines, I know the importance of these rules from a practical sense of how they've actually helped me, as opposed to some idea that I thought about or never really did in my own life. So everything I'm telling you in this video, I've applied it in my own life to get the results that I have today. If you want to look me up, Google me, look me up on Instagram, and you can see that it's real, it's not fake. We have offices in Tampa and in Washington, D.C. and in South America, and you can go visit any of these offices if you want. So anyway, so are these rules of money the practical foundation that you'll need to build wealth? Or not? Or is the law of attraction the missing piece to your puzzle now? So let's head in the direction of really discovering the truth about attracting abundance one rule at a time. Rule number 1, to get exactly what you want from the law of attraction. The first rule is mindset matters. Why does mindset matter, and what is mindset? Am I telling you to just be like super positive and sing kumbaya all day long? No, that is not going to get you anywhere in life, okay? That doesn't work. So what does work? Let's break down mindset, okay? So mindset of who? The mindset we're talking about is the mindset of a winner. You have to then dissect and say, what is the winner's mindset? What is a champion's mindset? Because that's what really matters, is that mindset, right? It's not your existing mindset, because if you look at your existing mindset today, and this is something you got to really look at, is this. The mindset that you have right now, watching this video, has gotten you to where you are now. Fair to say? Because that's the reality. You have to almost adopt, not in all areas, because maybe in your life you're somewhat successful in certain areas of your life. Maybe your money is in a good position, but your personal relationships are horrible. Maybe you don't have any friends, and you don't have any money, but your job is going good. Wherever it is that you feel that you're lacking is where you want to think that the mindset that you have today has arrived you at the location that you are now. And that for me was the biggest shift in mindset that I had years ago, because I had to confront the fact of, which is that where I was 10 years ago was a culmination of the mindset I had prior to those years that arrived me at the location that I was at then. Well, Vic, how could you build the largest medical sleep testing company in the United States with a high school diploma? You know nothing about medicine. You know nothing about building teams. You know nothing about infrastructure. You know nothing about logistics. You have no experience in any of those things. So from a mechanical perspective, if I were to have sat in front of you at that time and said, hey, this is what I want to do, and, you know, sir or madam, here's my resume, and you looked at my resume, mechanically, my resume would say, hey, you have no medical experience. You're not an expertise in any sort of technical aspect in sleep. You've never run a company. You don't know logistics. You don't know software. You don't know how to build and organize a company. So what makes you think that you can do this? So going back to what I was saying just a few minutes ago, well, I had to have the mindset that I could and that it was possible, and not have the negative aspect of the neutralizing of that thought or idea after that thought or idea. And that's the gray area that you got to be able to take control of. So if you're doubting yourself, well, you're never going to be able to get to where you want to be, because you're immediately saying, "How I want to do this, can't do this. Want to do this, can't do this. I want to get the burger and fries, can't get the burger and fries. I want to jump off the building and I want to fly down, can't jump off the building and fly down." And don't jump off buildings. But you understand my analogy is you can't neutralize or negate the thought. So the mindset is very important. So you can't have a mindset that's being contaminated by yourself, because other people are going to do it for you. I can promise you that. So you have to have a mindset that does not allow contamination. And that's where you have to be very picky with who you're around. That leads me into the second rule, which is another very important rule, is you have to set clear, specific goals and boundaries, okay? So if you can get your mind right, if you can understand and say, okay, I've got to protect this thing like a glass of water. I don't want to allow any contamination to get into my glass of water, okay? Because even in a glass of water or a cup of coffee, one drop of poison eventually will kill you, right? So you have to protect that with every part of your being and never allow that negativity to get in. One of the reasons I don't watch the news, because it's just negative. All of it's negative, can't do anything about it. Better just to live your life and set a good example and do the right thing, as opposed to listening to the news, because again, it's just contaminating your mind with fear, failure, death, destruction, all the stuff that's going on you can't do anything about. I protect myself by not listening or watching the news. I get my financial information from the Wall Street Journal. That's one of the newspapers right now that's still not contaminated with a bunch of other stuff that you don't need. So it gives me the business information and the news that I want on a business side, and it avoids all the other stuff. So I like that. I read the Wall Street Journal every single day. But with that being said, so setting clear goals and boundaries. You've got to commit. If you're committed to your success, the most important thing in the law of attraction is you've got to commit to removing all the toxicity that's around you. You have to make that rule or policy for yourself that you're just not going to entertain any of that stuff. Now, if you can't do that, well, then I'm going to tell you that you're going to have a very difficult time being successful in life, because the most successful people on the planet have a very high level or degree of discipline. You're going to have discipline. If you don't have discipline, you're going to have a difficult time with getting rid of toxicity that's around you, that's just contaminating your mind and your brain, that ultimately is going to sidetrack you from where you're going. Because look, here's the reality of it. The reality is that most people are successful through life because challenges have come their way and they didn't get distracted. You see, challenges are going to come, they're going to hit you at 100 miles an hour. The question is how are you going to react to those challenges when those challenges come? Are you going to be the guy that's sidetracked, that's got all this other BS going on in your life, that you're not able to buckle down and get serious and focus on the problem at hand and channel through it, right? You got to push through it. And you may have to push through it for a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years. It may last that long for you to channel through and get on the other side of that problem. But if you've got a bunch of problems going on in your personal life and you're not disciplined and you got a bunch of BS going on, guess what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're just going to end up being a casualty of the business war. Business is a war. It's a war. It's like Game of Thrones. It's war, okay? You got to think like you're a sultan or like you're a king of this kingdom, and you got to protect it with every single thing you possibly can. And that's how you got to think about your goals and your dreams. Your goals and your dreams are kingdoms that you have to protect if they're important to you. And I think if they're important to you, you're probably watching this video. But you've got to think in terms of that level of extremity in your life. And if you're not willing to do that, well, then that just shows your dedication or lack thereof of that goal, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be a goal that you got to make $1 million or $1 billion or whatever. Not everybody has to have that goal, okay? The goal could be that you just want to have a nice life and you want to have a nice family and you want to raise kids and you want to do, the things that you want to do in life, whatever those goals are for you. This strategy applies even with that. This strategy is not just for people that want to make $1 gazillion, because making $1 gazillion is not the most important thing in life. The The most important thing in life is having your goals of whatever they are for you and being able to enjoy the journey of chasing those goals without the distractions, the negative distractions that life is going to throw at you. So what I'm offering you is a strategy that you can use that's going to allow you to be able to handle the problems that are going to come your way. Because here's the thing, you are going to have problems. Like I got tons of problems, hundreds of problems, okay? It's like the Jay-Z song. I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. The key is to balance ambition with realism. Ambition and realism. Using your goals to inspire action rather than relying on wishful thinking. You're not gonna sit around and just magically manifest a gazillion dollars or this beautiful house or car or wife or husband or whatever it is that you want. It's just not going to magically appear, okay? The more consistent you are, the luckier you get. The more consistent you are over long periods of time equal better luck. Like, I'm a lucky guy. Why am I a lucky guy? I'm a lucky guy because all I do is I work consistently every single day, okay? Whether you like me or don't like me, guess what? You called me one day. Vic, what you doing? What do you think my answer's gonna be? I'm working. I'm working all the time. All the time. Every single day. That's all I do. I work. I love to work, okay? So it's not like I'm being forced to work. I love to work. Point is that the more I work, the natural laws align. Like, I mean, look, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And so when luck comes my way, it's not like, yeah, I do think I'm a lucky guy. I think I'm a very lucky guy. However, I don't think that I would be as lucky if I didn't put in the time and the effort of the consistency. Like, I'm super consistent. I get the same coffee every day. I go to the same Starbucks usually every day. I eat the same shit every day. Even though I'm a foodie, I eat all the types of food that I love all the time, right? So I'm super consistent with that. I'm consistent with spending time with my wife. I'm consistent with spending time with my friends. I'm consistent with being there for my friends. I'm consistent about spending time with my managers, with my employees, how much time I work. I'm just consistent. And I live in the world of consistency, okay? Because that's what you need to be successful. If you're inconsistent, don't bitch that you're not lucky. Don't bitch. Don't complain. Don't nag anyone. Just understand that you're inconsistent. So the question really you got to ask yourself right now is how consistent are you? For how many days have you been working towards your goal every single day? Now, if your answer is, well, I was busy doing something else, well, then you need to go back to what I was talking about earlier in this video, which was be very clear about what it is that you want and remove your distractions. If you haven't removed your distractions, well, then you skipped a step. You may have a big goal, and your goal could be, hey, I want to build a business, but you're spending 80% of your time arguing with your girlfriend or working on another project or arguing with somebody else or doing blah, blah, blah. So in the last 30 days, the question really then you have to ask yourself is how much time did you spend on your goal? If you ask me, I will tell you that I've spent every single day working on my goal. Every single day. Every single day, my goal is to create a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar enterprise and create hundreds of companies and have amazing employees. And all I do every single day is I work on that. Maybe different aspects of that. Maybe one day it's this, maybe one day it's that. But I'm working in that every single day. I am not going over to some other place and working on some other idea or goal. That is not my main goal. My main goal is to build businesses, create content, etc. So that's all I do every single day, right? That's all I do, right? That's all I do every single day. That's all I do every single day. People behind the camera, that's all they see me do every single day. Hey, Vic, what are you doing? Working. Hey, Vic, he calls me. Hey, what are you doing? I'm working. Okay. I'm not fucking jet skiing. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with jet skiing. But you're not going to call me on a Monday afternoon and I'm fucking jet skiing. I'm working on my fucking goal. Okay. That's what I do. But that's why I get luckier than being unlucky. Fine? Okay, cool. So payoff, consistent action is non-negotiable for financial success. I'll repeat that. Payoff is consistent action is non-negotiable if you want financial success. The law of attraction's concept of inspired action can be useful if it helps you stay motivated and find joy in the process of building wealth. That's it. That's the concept of law of attraction. The last rule that I have for you is to do a little bit of homework, and that is on your circle of influence, the people that are around you, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you don't have a piece of paper and pen, I want you to put the video on pause, go grab a piece of paper and a pen, and I want you to do the following, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to draw a line down the center of the piece of paper. And on the left side of the piece of paper, I want you to write for your goals. And on the right side of the paper or the column, I want you to write not for your goals. Okay? So it looks something like this. And then what I want you to do is I want you to, on this side of the sheet, I want you to write down everybody's name that is actually for your goals. And what I mean by that is they've never called you, they've never texted you negative shit about what it is that you are doing in your life, that they're for your goals, they're supporting you through their words and their actions, they're supporting you. Then on the left side, you're gonna write down all the people's names that don't support you, that make you feel less than, that try to squash you, that try to make you feel unimportant, that try to make you feel like your dreams are unimportant, that make you feel like you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not this enough, you're not that enough, all that stuff. And you're gonna write their names down over here, okay? Now, once you get that filled out, what you're gonna do is you're going to, you don't have to reach out to them all individually, but you need to basically either A, go through the list and draw a line through the people that you know are not going to change. It should be pretty easy. You know who those people are. And then you're going to draw a circle around the name of the person that you think is worth talking to one time, and telling that person, hey, I like you, but I really don't appreciate when you minimize or you do this or you're negative about what I'm trying to do, blah, blah, blah. And if their response is, well, I'm just doing it for your own good because I don't want you to get hurt. That's not the answer, okay? Either you're for me or you're not for me. Just that simple. And if you're for me, you're gonna knock that shit off. And if you're not for me and you wanna play in that gray area where, well, I'm telling you for your own good, then you're gonna take that circle and you're gonna draw a line through them and you're never gonna talk to them again, okay? Never gonna talk to them again. Now, you may think, wow, Vic, that's super rough, and wow, you have to be a champion, or you gotta have, hold on. You have right mental mindset. It's the first thing I talked about. If you're not willing to have that mental mindset, just give up now. You're never gonna make it. You're never gonna make it because you're not tough enough. You gotta be tough. It's a tough world. If you wanna win, you gotta be tough. If you're not willing to draw a line through somebody who's negative to you, who doesn't make you feel good and doesn't make you feel like you can accomplish your goals, well, then you should really look in the mirror and figure out for yourself why you're doing it. That's a whole nother video. But this video is not about that. This video is about me trying to help you with the actual things that I have done in my life to turn my life around from $78 that I talk about in my book to having a plane. So I went from $78 to having a plane. And there's a lot of things that had to happen in between all of that stuff. However, the things that I talk about in this video are the fundamental things that I continue to apply today that have helped me in my life and continue to help me in my life. And this is one of those things that I did many years ago, and it was probably the best thing that I did. It was probably one of the things that has helped me in my success more than anything else that I've done, which is just completely clear my life of people that were just not for me, that were not trying to help me. And the payoff has been immense. I mean, it's just abundance. One of the best things that I've ever done. I wish I had done it many years ago. I wish somebody had told me to do it many years prior to that, but I didn't. And I thought, oh, well, it's not that important. I can still be successful without these people. I will tell you that you cannot. If you think you can be successful with toxic people around you, you're kidding yourself. Now, here's what I'll tell you. Maybe you're somewhat successful, but you're not really going to reach your potential with that type of environment. Okay, so maybe you're like, oh, I'm hitting a ceiling. I can't get past X. Okay, well, there you go. You're not going to get past X because you have all this toxicity around you. So I hope that you will apply these rules that I have applied in my life. I'll tell you that the law of attraction can work for you, but you've got to make it part of your lifestyle. You've got to imbue it in everything that you do. And part of imbuing it in everything you do is making it in actionable steps that you can apply, that you can get clear about, that you can get behind, and that your friends and your family can get behind you in taking on this mindset of the law of attraction so that it works for you, so that you're not, again, like I talked about earlier in the video, I don't want you to be 10 years from now wishing that you had changed your mindset earlier. Because that's probably one of the only regrets that I have, is that I didn't change my mindset earlier, because I would just be further ahead in my life than I am today. So in conclusion, the rules of money, mindset, goal setting, inspired action, consistency, gratitude, providing a solid foundation for building wealth. While the law of attraction offers intriguing perspectives on these principles, it's most effective when combined with practical strategies that I have talked about in this video, and being consistent with those things. So ultimately, attracting abundance is about more than just positive thinking. It's about aligning your thoughts, your emotions, your heart, your actions, all of these things with your goals so that everything is pointing in the same direction. And by applying these rules and taking a balanced approach to the law of attraction, you can actually create exactly what it is that you want. I can promise you that. I'm a perfect example of a person that has created everything that I have in my life today. It's because I wrote it down and I created it. And I focus on it every single day. So if you found this breakdown helpful and want to dive deeper into personal development yourself, financial success, and the principles of attraction, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Remember, the true power to change your financial situation lies within your choices of actions. Join me on this journey of transformation. Start applying these rules today. So together, let's attract the abundance we desire and create lasting success. This is Vick Tipnes, and I'll see you in the next video.